Well, it's a sport dominated by the African nations of Kenya and Ethiopia, but one former marathon great can't understand why Australia doesn't produce more distance running champions. Robert DeeksAlice has embarked on a scheme to develop a culture of marathon running among Aboriginal Australians. He's just completed a recruitment drive across the country, seeking out 6 young Indigenous athletes he'll train to run this year's New York Marathon. Their year-long quest is being documented in a film titled Running to America. Kieran McKechnie reports.
Nice.
It's an ambitious goal. To take 6 young Indigenous Australians with no athletics training and in just 1 year turn them into elite runners. Then put them to the ultimate test, running this year's New York Marathon.
I'm absolutely confident we can get them to the finish line. It may not be pretty. it'll be hard work, and I don't think we're going to have anybody in the top 10 or the top 20. But running is basic. Running, it's not that complicated. Put your left foot in front of your right foot and just keep on doing it.
DeeksAlice hits the front in the last 2 miles. Come on, Deek.
Robert DeeksAlice is perhaps a little modest. In the 1980s, he was propelled onto the world stage, winning gold at both the Brisbane and Edinburgh Commonwealth Games. Since then, no Australians have even come close to his international marathon success. But he's hoping to change all that.
I see around the world the marathon is now dominated by the African countries. My dream or my hope is that our Australian Indigenous youth and athletes may have similar genetic and similar abilities to what some of the other African athletes have from around the world. And with a little bit of luck, who knows, we may find a real gem. Try to push your knee down towards the road.
Over the past few months, he's been prospecting for that gem in Indigenous communities across the top end and the Central Desert. He's enlisted coach and former runner John Bell.
You can hang on to someone if you like, or you can put your hands on hips like this.
The pair has been putting a team of potential athletes through its paces at selection trials in Alice Springs. Just 6 will make the final cut. Those selected will head to the Australian Institute of Sport in Canberra to train alongside other top athletes. Training will be intense.
There's going to be lots of tears along the way, there's going to be lots of doubts, and there's going to be lots of shoulders needed for these lads and girls to cry on.
Keep your form, mate. Keep your knees up, use your arms.
Robert DeeksAlice has his eye on Joseph Davies.
It's got lots left yet, come on.
The 18-year-old from Kununurra in Western Australia's remote north has just completed high school and is keen to pursue his passion for running.
It's just like pretty much a good opportunity to try new stuff once in a lifetime, you know. Probably won't see nothing like this again, so I thought I'd give it a crack.
He's under no illusions the year ahead will be easy.
It's a challenge I'm willing to take. Just gonna do my best, don't let anyone down, just do what I came to do it hard, see how far I go.
It's not just his obvious athletic ability that will decide if Joseph Davies has what it takes to get to New York, particularly for those from remote parts. Adequate support structures back home will mean the difference between success or failure.
And now it's about getting out there and looking at the talent, looking at the commitment and the motivation and the determination, and whether we believe that they'll be able to do the training and hang in there, because it's a big ask. It's not going to be just a walk in the park. It's going to be hard work.
That's not the least of it. These young Australians are training in the searing heat of the Central Desert. In 10 months, they'll be competing during a frosty New York winter. For Roberta Long, that means wearing shoes.
Oh, I'm used to running without shoes, because it feels a little bit heavy when you got shoes on, because most of the time I run without shoes.
The 22-year-old hails from a tiny Indigenous community on the Northern Territory Queensland border.
Good girl, use your arms. That's it.
She knows she'll have to lift her game to get her fitness up to competition standard.
Oh, I was just pushing myself. It's really trying hard to get to the next level.
But for Robert DeeksAlice and John Bell, this program goes far beyond simply getting their chosen 6 across the finish line in November. They're trying to develop a deep culture of health and fitness in Indigenous communities and create a new generation of role models.
Once you provide that little window of opportunity, provide the culture of distance running, which is a very specific, isolated, lonely sort of running culture in one sense, but a wonderful fraternity, a brotherhood and a sisterhood of running on the distance scene. Once they get that opening and they see it, then it's game on.
I think that the sense of self-worth and the sense of personal pride and achievement that they will feel when they cross the finish line in New York will be absolutely spectacular, and I'm sure they'll believe that after having done that, they can do anything.
That's the way. Good girl. Good work. Yay! Well done.
Kieran McKechnie with that report.